My name is Rob Moir, a Canadian singer-songwriter touring the world full-time since 2013. In the autumn of 2017, I took my guitar and songs I wrote on a 10-week tour across the entire country of Switzerland. I played 52 concerts and truly immersed myself in the country in which I stood. I drank wine, rode trains, saw lakes and mountains, rode some more trains, laundered clothing. More importantly, I saw more of Switzerland than any Canadian musician before or after me will ever see. Join me on this adventure of ditching the backstage for the experience of living like a local and take a deeper dive into a place most tourists only spend 48 hours in. This is Lake Geneva, or Lac Léman, as they say here in French Switzerland. It might be my favorite lake in all of Europe. It shines brighter and gives me pause every time I see it. From above, it resembles a bird with its wings spread flying. It's special.
Hello, bonjour.
I'm here meeting Jean-Luc, who's a local winemaker in the region and kind enough to show us his hilly vineyards. It's a rare personal tour he normally doesn't give, but on the fact that we're both musicians, he made an exception.
I can't even figure out where we are. Like, is that Geneva that way? Okay, so this is, we're almost, okay.
Lausanne is somewhere around.
The first time I visited Switzerland, I knew they spoke a few different languages, but honestly, I couldn't tell you where those languages were spoken or where one culture ended and the next begun. After 10 weeks in the country, I'm only half satisfied I know the answer to that fully. I know the French part is called Romandie, and it's home to roughly 1.5 million residents. After German, French is the most common language spoken out of the 4 in the country.
Have you ever, est-ce que tu voyageais avec ça, like dans le...
Moi, j'ai autre chose. Mais ça, c'est pratique. Mais nous, on a un système un peu différent, je vais te montrer.
Okay.
C'est beau, hein?
C'est très, très beau.
Das heißt Desalé Côte des Abbayes. Das ist der Wein von dieser Parzelle hier. Santé.
Merci, santé.
Santé, hein?
Santé.
Jean-Luc introduces me to one of his best wines, the Desalé Grand Cru. It's crisp and refreshing and perfect for a summer day.
C'est très bon. C'est très, très bon.
Merci. Mon premier verre de vin, je pense que je devais avoir environ 6 ans.
Oh!
Quand j'ai bu le premier, oui, mais c'était très peu, c'était juste pour nous faire... Nos parents nous offraient un petit verre le dimanche pour nous faire plaisir. Mais ce que je peux me rappeler sûr, c'est que la première fois où j'ai bu trop de vin, j'avais 11 ans.
Okay, perfect. How important are wineries to this region of Switzerland?
L'unique culture de toute la région, c'est la vigne.
Wow.
On produit environ 80% de vin blanc, principalement du chasselas, et 20% de rouge avec différents cépages comme le pinot noir, le merlot, le gamay, gamaret, grain noir. Le vin produit dans la région de Lavaux est vendu dans toute la Suisse. Une petite partie est également exportée. Et on constate dans la région, depuis l'introduction de Lavaux au patrimoine mondial de l'UNESCO en 2007, c'est-à-dire il y a 10 ans, une augmentation très importante du tourisme dans la région.
Hey, merci. Ciao, 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 ciao.
Beaucoup de succès.
Now we'll know being nostalgic.
Okay.
Now we'll know play on your tracks. Watch buses crawl on city bridges, and I ponder every small decision.
If you happen to be lucky enough to live near Lac Léman, one of the absolute best ways to get around is to take the ferry. These run at various times and stop at various ports from Montreux to Geneva, even trips across the bordering towns in France. The boat shuttles thousands of people, and on a sunny day, getting from A to B on the lake can be one of the best activities to do beyond its practicality.
Constantly fumbling to find the last note, checking talk, it's like I've lost something. Things you find and maybe then forgot.
When you dock in Lausanne, Switzerland's fourth largest city, you can grab a light rail from the lake to the central train station. And you may want to, as this is one of the steepest urban inclines I've experienced anywhere. Taking the train from Lausanne to Geneva could not be easier as well. With dozens of connections each day, I'm not sure there's even a reason to check the schedule in advance. Just show up and jump on the first train going. About 4 hours by train, you can step into a completely different region of Switzerland, Ticino. This is the Italian part. Assuming you're traveling north to south by train, you'll cross the mountain ranges, a noticeable change of the architecture going from Northern European style to the classic red tile roofs we are familiar with all over Southern Europe. The amazing part about this trip is the aesthetic change takes place within about 20 minutes. Before the tunnels were dug and rail lines laid, you would have to go over the mountain passes by foot, and it could take a week in the warmer months and impossible to cross in the winter. It's only been about 100 years since travel of this sort has been possible. Coming up the escalator in Lugano train station, seeing the city run up the hills and along the lakes is quite the dramatic introduction. It's a gorgeous place in the heart of Ticino. This was my first real visit in the region and time to check out a typical grotto. This is a Ticino classic restaurant tavern serving local dishes and drink mixes that go back centuries. What is this?
Questo è un tazzino, è un recipiente tipico dove la gente, gli anziani, le persone anziane bevono ogni mattina in quel tavolo che si vede là di dietro e bevono vino, ok. E poi non è champagne, gazosa.
Ok.
E questo si chiama, noi lo chiamiamo mezzo e mezzo. Half.
It's like spritzer.
Più o meno. Salute.
Grazie.
Prova perché è veramente buono.
It's very nice. Refreshing.
Grazie per la visita.
Tell me, how long has this grotto been here for, and how long have you owned it?
Questo è un grotto che arriva, è molto vecchio, uno dei più vecchi grotti della zona e della mia famiglia dal 1842, ma la casa, proprio il grotto in se stesso, arriva proprio dalla fine del 1700, quindi sono tanti anni che è della mia famiglia, è stato chiuso per 20 anni al pubblico e poi l'ho riaperto nel 1 aprile 2000 e sono ancora qua.
Possibly one of Lugano's most interesting expats for Canadians is Nat Dominicelli, a lifelong hockey player who even played for NHL teams spanning 6 years. He and his wife, with Ticino origins, have settled here, and Dom has opened a sports bar. We sat down over some Canadian beer, and instead of shooting pucks, we shot the breeze.
How I got into hockey was my brother was 3 years older than I was. And so around 3-4 years old, my mom would always drag me to the rink because my dad was coaching. My brother was playing. I said, listen, if I have to come to the rink, I want to play. I don't want to sit in the crowd.
Oh, that's boring, isn't it?
So basically, I just got thrown into it. And said, my dad said, I'm not going to drive to 2 different rinks. Oh, I'm not a taxi. So if you want to play...
Dads love saying that, right?
Yeah, if you want to play, you're going to have to play with your brother's team. Really good team.
Well, what's that like? I mean, that first kind of few moments where you kind of know you're good. Like
you don't really confirm that you're good until someone else tells you you're good.
Okay.
Right? And that goes back to the whole confidence thing.
Yeah.
And that's what you see with the athletes today and the great musicians is that you need to believe in yourself before somebody else tells you you're good. And that's kind of the reverse of the way the world works and the way the people with their psyche, how they feel.
Have you ever been in an epic hockey brawl?
I have. I've been in lots.
What is that like?
Well, to be honest with you, it wasn't fun.
I imagine it doesn't look fun, to be honest.
I'm not an aggressive guy.
Yeah.
Everybody goes into a fight with the right intentions because I'm angry and I'm going to whack this guy.
Amazing.
And then all of a sudden you take one off the nose or you take one off the eye and pretty soon you say, well, this isn't so much fun. And that's what hockey is the only sport in the world. That you can do these things.
Fascinating.
And that's why hockey's so special. Yeah? That's why it's a Canadian game.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Love it, Nat. Thanks so much for that.
All the best,
Really appreciate your time today, man. Thank you.
Well, I knew at an early age, due to poor genetics and total disinterest in team sports, that I would never be a professional hockey player. I gotta say, it gave me a jolt of excitement to sit down and talk to an amazing athlete, brilliant businessman post-career, and all-around nice guy.
You going? Okay.
Tired out. What are you searching for? A crooked smile, and your teeth cut like diamonds, and count your blessings. See your reflection in the cop car crucifix. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Timber bodies. What are you running from? A crooked smile, and your teeth cut like contraband. And count your blessings, all on your fingertips. See your reflection in the cop car crucifix. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'll tell you very quickly, I'm doing this tour of all of Switzerland for 2 months. I'm playing 55 concerts all over this beautiful country. 2 months, basically doing the math on that, I have 5 days off. But I'm in good spirits. I've only had 1 beer before playing tonight, so we're gonna have a really, really good concert. I wrote this next song about